reported today in The Verge. Space Channel 5 makes a funky return in VR. Back in the heady days of 2016, when VR hype was at its peak amid hardware launches from Oculus, HTC, and Sony, it felt entirely natural for the killer app to be the transformative PlayStation VR conversion of Tetsuya Mizuguchi's Res. Here was a cult classic that just so happened to be about delving into the very depths of technology itself, with graphics perfectly suited to the high contrast, low-resolution panels of early VR headsets, and propulsive game design that didn't have to deal with the tricky problem of how to move your avatar around. In 2020, the VR landscape has changed. Motion controls are the norm, and expectations are high for next month's launch of what has to be the most anticipated VR title of all time, Valve's Half-Life, Alyx. That's the background for today's launch of another PSVR version of another Dreamcast-era Mizuguchi release, Space Channel 5. In some ways, it's a perfect fit, in others, it feels like the tech isn't quite there. Space Channel 5 is one of those games that came out in the early 2000s and developed a devoted following, despite bombing in terms of sales. It's a basic post-parappa the rapper rhythm action title that sees you take control of Ualala, an intrepid intergalactic reporter who is tasked with defeating a malevolent alien invasion through the medium of dance. The original game was very simple, requiring players to do little more than repeat D-pad directions and push the occasional action button in time to the music, Simon Says style. The new version, Space Channel 5 VR, Kinda Funky News Flash, is essentially the same idea, except this time, your dance moves come through PlayStation Move controller swings instead of button presses. Grounding, the developer, has made some smart adaptations for the VR format. Rather than a straight port, this is essentially the third game in the Space Channel 5 series. You don't play Ualala this time around. Instead, you're a rookie reporter who dances alongside her in first-person perspective. This shift means you can watch Ualala for the cues to your next moves. It also allows for some playful twists with the camera angle. Where pressing right on a Dreamcast controller would have seen Ualala take a simple step in that direction, in VR, you often feel like you're dodging a laser beam that would otherwise have connected directly with your head. Space Channel 5 is all about its stylish audio-visual presentation, and the VR version more than delivers here. The jazz-funk music sounds great, with 3D audio that places you right into the environment, and the simple, clean visuals are a great fit for the PSVR screen. The story mode doesn't quite amount to a full-on sequel, much of the music and enemies are recycled from the two canonical titles, but it's a well-designed game that feels fresh. Makes the most. For more on this story, visit the news article link.